Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, friends. We came in a little early.
We did. I wasn't looking at the timing. I just had to press 3 buttons at the same time. It was a lot.
Here we are. We're here. We've got our wine, and we're ready to talk about it.
It's Wine Wednesday. I didn't even realize that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Oh.
I thought it was Thursday today, which would have been bad.
Every day, I don't know what day it is ever. The weeks have been going by a lot faster, and I'm worried that that's just how adulthood is like.
Oh, yeah. It just gets faster and it never stops. It's a nightmare. Until you get into winter, and then it takes forever.
Yeah, I'm like, what? It's already the weekend. Last weekend, I was like, it's already the weekend again, and now I'm like, I'm already halfway through the week again. What?
Yeah, it's just a slow spiral to death.
It's just a slow, it's just a slow but quick spiral. We haven't been here in a hot minute. There's been a couple fun things that have happened. Sadly, I once again had to go to State Fair again by myself. Both Sam and Brandon last year were like, oh, I want to go. But then they couldn't make it. And then it happened again this year.
I double couldn't make it. Couldn't bring plans, and I couldn't go.
You never even went to the State Fair?
No, me and Brandon were like, maybe on the last day we should go. And then we were like, ugh. It was too hot, though. I don't think I would have made it.
I went thrice.
That is insanity.
Yeah, I went thrice. And I also went the day before. I don't count the day before when I show up with the plants because that's not a real visit.
You were on the lot.
It was
4 times.
4 times. Yeah. I love it. I mean, I almost didn't go. The second to last day is the last day I went. And I almost didn't go after work. And then Izzy was like, I want to eat State Fair food. And I was like, okay, let's go get dinner at the State Fair, I guess.
That is too much inconvenience for food.
Well, here's the thing. I did have one extra ticket that would have gone to waste. And I was
that
like,
makes sense.
Okay, I do want to.
If it's the value proposition, had a ticket been presented to me, I would have said, and ticket and transportation.
The thing is, I always have tickets. What is that? Why is that on your shirt?
I don't know. The sticker on me, it just got stuck. Oh, no.
My mom always hooks me up with some tickets because she gets them she buys them beforehand, so they're a little cheaper. And then I always go to this one random little church to do a park and ride.
The one like down Snelling?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The St. Rose of Lima church.
Me and Brenna tried to do that last year, and there were 4 million people there.
Really?
We couldn't even park like within 2 miles of the church.
That sucks. There's also one, I have a backup too that's like right off the highway. I don't know where it is, but here's the thing, y'all. I like doing a park and ride like really close to the fair if I can, so then you don't have to be on the bus very long. And it's free. They just drop you off.
We lucked out. We ended up in like a preschool, and they were like, we have 1 spot left, $10, and we were 3 blocks away.
$10. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, I'm not paying to park anywhere.
Brandon might have haggled. I don't really know.
Well, and the thing is, the last day that I went, if you go to the State Fair in Minnesota, and this is kind of just like to be expected anywhere now, unfortunately. But there was like these churchy people with their giant signs like abortion kills and like homosexual is wrong and stuff like that, and just like standing up on their little podium with their little microphone saying, the Bible says thou shalt not kill, blah, 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 blah.
I feel like you don't see that often here.
It is always outside the State Fair, unfortunately.
Well, the State Fair is like incredibly Republican. It's kind of frightening.
It kind of is, yeah. It is. I didn't see very many. No, when I went, I did not see like any gays. I was like, where are the gays?
Yeah, like when I was shocked because like the Wisconsin State Fair, I mean, I'm sure they are there, but I was like, there's so many political booths and they're all red.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are like some Democratic ones, but they're not as annoying, so they're not as obvious. That's what I think. No, but it's sad because they have like children passing out these little pamphlets like, you're gonna die if you keep having sex with homosexuals, and then they like try and pass it to you and you're like, no, thank you. And it's like they don't get the hint that like nobody wants you here. I like how we're going right in at the beginning. Nobody wants you here. Anyways, plans.
We're getting the political rant right out of the way.
It's been a minute. It's really annoying. So then I was the first one on the bus. Thank God this guy let us in so we could sit there and watch them. Just staring out the window the whole time. No one stopped and was like, yeah, man, you're right. Like everyone walking by him was just like,
yeah, I don't understand what it is. Like what I get the,
what makes you think you're doing good work?
That one lady who, you know who I'm talking about. It's all over TikTok. She's like, the margaritas, don't drink margaritas. Because I saw her like years ago on social media, and I was like, whoa, this lady's. But now she has like
the one that would show up to like colleges and stuff.
Yeah, and like people just would now watch her because she's so like off the handle. Like,
yeah, people almost would be like encouraging it. Like,
where I'm pretty sure it's like a bit at this point.
Kind of like that crazy vegan lady.
Oh yeah,
do you remember her? She's still around. The one on TikTok.
She got banned from TikTok when in COVID. That's the last I ever heard of her.
She has a different like handle because I saw her very recently like live streaming.
It's and like Perez Hilton just keeps popping up.
Like, yeah, can't get rid of them. I feel like I can't believe we haven't talked about pets and plants.
When you told me we didn't do an episode about this, I was truly in shock.
Well, because I think it was one that we were kind of waiting for a special guest. But the thing is, we have pets and plants, so...
But we also don't know any veterinarians.
I did some research. I'm basically a vet. That was a horrible sound. I'm sorry, with users.
I don't know.
How did you make that?
I don't know. Oh, there it is again.
Sounded like a computer or something. I don't know. So what I want we're to first talk about like pets and plants that we've lived with. I mean, just like our pet situation. So like, have you actually, I mean, you've had plants before you came here. So like what animals were you battling previously?
Just my parents' dogs, which were Shih Tzus, so they were small and could care less about plants.
Yeah, there's certain like dogs I think that are like a little too lazy for that. If they can't reach it, they're not like going for it.
You know, we got Cece and Cliff, and Cece could care less unless it's real grass.
Clifford's the one that's like...
I'm surprised he hasn't gotten some of those like low hangers right there.
Yeah, Brayden has some on like a shelf, not even like 2 feet up from the ground. And Clifford could definitely like put his 2 paws up and just like at the bottom of those leaves.
Put your paws up.
Because he does wander in here.
He does.
He gets a little curious. I mean,
he tries to mess with me.
He's like, "This is my house, just so you know. I know this is your room, but like, this is my house you're in." He's crazy. And what, just like off the top of your head, plants do you know that he has consumed at least a little bit of?
He loves vining philodendrons. He loves. Well, he doesn't eat them. He punches holes in them.
Or like shreds the bottom of like Dracaena leaves, I think I've seen.
Yes, because he did like that Dracaena, and I let him just demolish that.
That was the like sacrificial plant.
But then it like stopped growing, because I'm pretty sure he has like those poisonous saliva that like a plant, the second it hits it, it's like, can't grow now. Here I am.
There is like something, I should have looked that up. There is like something in their saliva that's like...
Because that was like the one that he did more than just punch. Because that one he would like drag through his mouth. And, like,
yeah, he'd like
string cheese.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like Squidward with the chocolate. No, SpongeBob with the chocolate bar. Do you know where he puts his 2 front teeth in? And then he drags it.
Yes, that's exactly what Clifford does.
So previously, I mean, I've lived with Kaya, my cat, and then my rabbit, both of which have gone after my plants. Juniper, my rabbit, I just have to keep her like away from them. They cannot be within reach because like a rabbit sees a plant and they're like, "Oh, lettuce. That's lettuce." They're not even, they won't even think about it. Like, "Oh, a leaf."
I love leaves.
Love leaves. Nom, 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 nom. I remember the one time Juniper chomped just like one little chomp out of my philodendron golden dragon, like the lime fiddle modeled variegation one that was like $130 a couple of years ago at Tonkadale. It just took one little bite out of it and I was just crushed. I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you would do this to me." Had like 3 or 4 leaves on it and I was just like distraught. Could not believe it because it wasn't a perfect leaf anymore. Kaya has eaten a lot of I think about it. I mean, she's just, I guess, like gnawed like the tips off of things. Like she loves syngoniums. She would definitely go after my micans if she could reach it.
I feel like there was a point where she just destroyed an entire tray of baby plants once.
Oh yeah, like if I leave anything out, I mean, she'll try and bite it if it's within reach. There are certain plants that, like I have my big like philodendron like Pluto sitting out.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't care about that at all, except the cats have tipped that over a couple times now because it's like in one of those like stands.
I don't even know like how you keep that thing straight up and down, to be perfectly honest.
I need to cut it up at Brandon. Every time I think about cutting it up, it starts popping out a new leaf.
Not the new leaf.
Not the new leaf, no. But now it's to the point where like it's fallen over a couple times and like the bottom leaves have gotten like kinked and I've had to like cut a couple of bottom. So it's not like perfectly, it wasn't perfectly bushy to begin with because it got really lanky. It never actually attached to a pole. So it's just been kind of like tied onto the side of one. And the inner nodes started getting so long that like each leaf had like several inches in between it. I do not like the look of that. I like them staying more bushy. Annoying. So I do want to start with like a bushier plant or like more growth points. So I think I'm going to propagate multiple mid cuts and just make a whole new plant.
Because that was like halfway, like that was like 4 feet across at one point.
It's big.
I don't know where I would put that. You gotta go straight up. We can't be going left or right.
Yeah, and it grows straight up, but it just at one point I was rotating it every time it got a new leaf so that it would perfectly be like spread out 360. Bad idea. So I stopped rotating it at one point. So all of the leaves are like to the window, to the walls. Kai has also tried to bite my cacti.
Yep, I remember you sending a snap once of just like.
She's unhinged. She doesn't really try and do that anymore. Like I said, she loves the syngonium. She'll try and eat like begonia leaves. She's kind of picky with her philodendrons. She likes the more velvety ones, or something that's more like
Clifford
grassy looking. Like
Clifford likes
something grassy.
Traditional leaf. When you think leaf, he wants a leaf. He doesn't want it to be frilly. He doesn't want it velvety.
Yeah, he doesn't want a fun texture.
He doesn't want texture. He just wants leaf.
True jungle cat.
Can't be too thick. Can't be too thin.
Well, okay, so when I'd never had a kitten around my plants before. That's a whole new like hell. Because when I brought Charlie home, Charlie was like, because he's extremely lightweight, so he could just scale my plants. Anything on a pole, he would just climb right up it like a demon. Terrifying. And like then sometimes get to the top and then would like vroom, then like tip over the whole plant.
That was insanity.
So bad. Or if it's something really nice and bushy like a stromanthe, he'll just like jump into it like it's a ball pit. So I'm very lucky to have a lot of my plants in one room. That's how a lot of them stay untouched until the cats they just wander in after me. Yeah, they wander in after me. Some of them, okay, Kai has gotten like locked in the plant room overnight. Somehow she doesn't do anything. She'll be locked in there for 12 hours. I come in, nothing's amiss.
The only thing worried about is getting out. How am I going to get out of this room?
If I'm in there for 30 seconds, she'll sneak
destroyed, destruction,
and just like not. It's always like I bring home a new plant. And I'm quarantining it in the middle of the room. It's just sitting there on the floor. Perfect spot for her to come right up and just like take a little bite. And you know what she does too? Oh, this really irks me and this gets me. When she, like the big caterpillar, she'll just gnaw it and then like it'll just be hanging there. She doesn't even eat it really. She just goes and
just like the squirrels out back.
Decapitates it. So we just listed a lot of like toxic plants that our cats have consumed.
They're basically most houseplants are toxic. Like you're hard pressed to find a houseplant.
I have a list of pet safe plants, and y'all, they're not the good ones. I'm sorry, they're not the good. People come into PQ and they're like, I need something. This is always the thing. People want something nice, bushy, and tall, and pet safe. No, what are you going to find? A massive majesty palm?
Nope. And then it's going to die in a week?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't have that for you. You want a massive Hoya on like a totem pole? Where am I going to find that? Like this list of, or a massive money tree. Money trees are pet safe. We don't have huge ones.
And also, who wants a huge one? Ugh.
I don't know. They're really only, I think, satisfying when people grow them from small into really big. Then it's like nice and big and satisfying. But when they're like sitting there and the store is really big, they're not looking so good. It's like a big fiddly fig. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not for me.
Just always talking shit about plants. I'm sorry, y'all. We promise we like them sometimes.
Well, I mean, like most things I like, I also hate them.
You're a hater. You're a hater to your core.
I am.
So
but at least
anything you like, you're still going to find something to hate about it.
I mean, I can find a reason to complain about literally anything.
I don't drink pop, but I drink Haterade.
I don't drink Gatorade, but I do drink Haterade.
Gatorade is gross.
I only like one flavor, the lime one.
Lime one?
It's the only one that doesn't taste like sweat to me.
Sweat.
Because it's salty. It's like, and Powerade is even worse. Ugh.
That one's like cough syrupy.
It's like cough syrup mixed with sweat. Like, my two favorite things. What a treat.
Yum. So as far as I know, whether a plant is toxic or non-toxic kind of goes by the genus. Like people come in and they're like, is this philodendron toxic? Is this philodendron toxic?
All philodendron.
I'm like, all of them are. I don't think any of them are not. But so like if you find a list of like, here's a list of 30 pet safe plants, like 7 of them are ferns.
Yeah.
Or different peperomias. I'm like, okay, then just say ferns.
Or calatheas.
Yeah. It'll be like, prayer plant. Here's another prayer plant. all the best and easiest plants.
They're either like so easy that they're like, you're like, what's the point of even having this? This is basically a decor piece. Or they're like the hardest plants known to man. No in between.
Yeah, we'll get to my big list. I didn't list every single one, but kind of the basics, just to give you a good idea. I guess like the ones out of the way, the ones that people are always like, is this pet safe? And I have to be like, no. Will be like rubber trees, any aroid, I don't know. All the aroids. People are always like, pothos, monstera, helicacia, syngonium. I'm like, no. So sorry. But I learned that cats are much more susceptible to kidney failure after like ingesting something like a lily.
Okay, someone local plant just ate a lily. I saw that on Instagram. I can't remember who it was, but someone.
I can't remember either, but Brandon, I really like, and this is, I hate to be a judgy wudgy, but it was one of those things where I was like, how do you not know that?
Well, like, I thought about it because we have lilies outside our house, like, on that side over there. And sometimes Cece goes over there and, like,
scary.
I don't watch her. But then I was like, but then I'm like, oh my God, there's, like, lilies over there. But also, is it the flowers that are poisonous?
It says
or is it the leaf?
Part of a lily plant / flower.
Because I think there's tiger lilies on that side of the house. And then I was like, shit. Good thing I, like, yell at Cece anytime she goes on that side of the house.
Yeah, I try and keep her, like, in view. I feel like she's usually looking for critters more than like plants.
Critters, spiders, and grass.
Yeah, she'll get in a spider web. Anything to get herself dirty.
Or a patch of dirt on the ground that she'll roll around.
I didn't check in who that person was, but
I just was like,
I hope their cat is okay.
I was a little nervous, so I was like, oh, swipe away. I don't want to, like I was expecting it to be bad.
Yeah, because it's not good. Yeah. I remember reading the story and it said, apparently it's not good if your cat eats a lily. And I was like, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have known unless there was a reason I found out like in the last year. And that's why I was like, oh shit, we have lilies outside.
Like even like I was like at my dad's last time and I saw a bunch of lily flowers on his table. And I'm like, you have multiple cats. I would not even be bringing those into my house. Even if I could get them out of the way. I mean, I wouldn't risk it. But he's like, oh, our cats don't bother them. I'm like, okay.
Clifford be chomping that flower to the bit.
Not good. So let's talk about methods for keeping plants out of reach or keeping cats and dogs and all the critters safe.
I was going to say...
I have my list.
We probably should have someone who has a dog on right now so they can like talk about dog shit.
Here's the thing is when I imagine a dog going after a plant, Brandon, I imagine them grabbing it and like... I just shook my headphones off.
See, this is why we need to record these like on a video so people can see this shit. Oh my God.
No, literally, like imagine them in the mouth, just like shaking it all over the place and just like treating it like a toy and just like destroying the entire thing.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
Right? Like I don't imagine like horrible. I imagine them just destroying it. I don't imagine them like a cat where the cats are just kind of sitting there just like yum, yum, yum,
or just like lifting their leg and peeing in it, and it's like filled to the brim with pee.
My cat, I didn't write that down, but I do have that issue with Kaya specifically. Okay, well, Charlie likes to dig in the dirt. Like if he can reach, he likes to try and like it's a little sandbox, scooping it out.
I did see on Instagram someone with a baby put like not corkboard, but like the stuff that like lines those baskets. It's like it's moss, a moss lined basket. Mm-hmm. They just put that over the dirt so the baby can't like.
I feel like I saw also. Maybe, I think I put this in my.
I think it was
story.
Noir Plant Club that posted that video.
There was someone whose baby was literally eating the fiddly fig leaves, like eating them. I'm pretty sure. I think I need to go back on the story because I think sometimes I find like a goofy enough like plant TikTok where I just have to repost it on my Instagram story because I'm like, y'all need to see this. Oh wait. Actually, I just found one the other day, and I'm going to play it because I imagine that this is what the guys that come, like, do little late-night rendezvous at your place are like.
No, you sent that to me, and then I sent it to you literally hours after.
Everyone likes to hate on Grindr, but as soon as you start using it to your advantage, bitch, I have a huge-ass bag of cuttings of plants. Bitch, this guy was a fucking botanist, and I robbed him.
They're robbing you. It's like, oh no, another plant gay. Well,
I have given cuttings to a few hookups.
I'm like, those are the people hitting up your. Because haven't you said there's a couple people that have hit you up that like listen to the podcast, or at least one? They're like, hey, I love your podcast.
Oh yeah, there's
Wanna
definitely been a few, and I'm like, oh, you're a blank profile. Leave me alone.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. I don't know if that's if you might have to actually hit up Brandon's like real DMs with like a real profile and everything. I don't know if just like being on something like a dating app and then someone is like, oh, I know you. I can't imagine. Like I found someone who had delivered food to PQ once, and I was like, that's too close.
Oh no.
And DoorDash food to PQ.
No.
And I was like, oh yeah, no, this won't work.
No, I don't know if I told you this. I was outside of the gay bar in line waiting to get in, and I got like this group of guys come out, and one of them like looks and then like makes eye contact with me, and I was like, huh. And he's like, oh my God, I followed you for forever. I didn't know you lived here. Like, okay,
come on, y'all.
Well,
followed you for forever, and you don't know we live here.
Well, like people don't look at that. I guess
there are some people that I have followed for several years, and I don't even know why I follow them, and I don't know where they live, but I know I've followed them for a while.
Yeah, unless you live in like New York, LA, Florida.
Or if you like
in the plant world, at least, I'm like.
Or if you, I guess, make your wherever you live your personality.
Yeah, which I don't. I'm not like I love Minnesota. Skull. Like no, I don't do that. I don't even know what that means.
That's what the Vikings would say when they were like, "Let's go." Are you reading my shirt?
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, it says "Plant Killers."
I know you've shown me that
Club.
before, but don't think I've seen you in it in person.
Lifetime member.
Lifetime?
Yeah.
Lifetime Fitness?
Yeah. Lifetime member. Plant killer. Yeah, from Uprooted Plant Shop. I don't know what it's called. Uprooted in Black Hills, South Dakota. Some people, y'all are so nice. Sometimes I just reply to their a story or a post or something, and I'm like, oh my God, I need that. And people will be like, okay, I'll send it to you.
Where in me, they go, that'll be $200.
Seriously, like just like I have a random booby pot from a plant shop in California because I was like, oh my God, that's so cute. And they're like, oh my God, what's your address? And then like the whole time I'm like, oh, here's my address. And then I'm just like, I don't have money for this though. And then they're like, okay, it's sent. And I'm like, oh, you really just sent me that for free? Okay.
And then I'm getting offered nipple covers, nutcrackers, lederhosens. God.
Yeah, I've been really bad at checking my email lately, so I don't even know what's up in there. I mean, I just missed my psychiatrist appointment, so clearly I'm not checking my email.
Well, for me, it's because I haven't, like, my Amazon storefront is the reason that I get so much spam. Or not spam, but just like things I would never, ever want to talk about.
I've been getting a lot of Amazon notifications. Like, I don't know who's in control of what the app is, like, pushing out, but it's like, hey, want to shop? Hey, shortcut, come to Amazon. Hey, like, here's this.
Like back to school essentials.
It's just like random, like, why are you? I've never gotten so many notifications from Amazon in my life.
Oh, no, they're pushing them tons.
I don't know what's going on. Anyways, back to it. So I have a lot of my you have a lot of your plants up on shelves and then in cabinets.
On shelves, in cases. They're not, there's 3 plants total on the ground, and they're big ones that are like.
You have a lot hanging up, too.
Yeah.
You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just right here above you.
Dripping on me.
I thought you got rid of a lot of those.
I did.
Not those plants, but you were like, oh my God, look, there's barely anything above my bed now. And here they all are.
Here we
again.
are. Well, also, like, this one got huge.
Have you always had the grow lights up there?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with my brain?
I don't know.
I feel like I always just assumed that you just had so much light coming in that window.
No, this is north. This is no light. North with a tree and an awning. Absolutely none.
Oh my God, you have north, and then I guess that must be east. That way?
Yeah.
You're like, what?
There is a lot of light from the garage light shining in on this disco planter that then blinds me at night.
Is your light out there like motion detected?
Yes, but it's so incredibly sensitive. Any movement within 500 feet radius turns it on. So it's always on.
So I'm sure it's always the squirrels too.
Yeah, they're just
stays on.
Basketball people.
Do you ever close the blinds on that?
No.
Because I guess it would be kind of easy. It's not too.
This one would be easier than that one.
Yeah, no. You'd be tipping stuff over.
The neighbors just get to see me.
You'd get cut up by that John Stoney eye, sperm pooty eye.
And then I'd be sliced. Maimed forever.
I have a lot of my plants and cabinets. A lot of them are just in one room with the door shut all the time, and that is what keeps them all nice and good. But also what keeps the pests just brewing. Love it. I always tell people this. I'm like, okay, sometimes if you want a big plant in that corner and it's just not going to work and you don't have the light and your cat or your dog or whatever is annoying, you might just need a fake plant, homie.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's your only option.
Like if we had athletic cats that liked plants, it'd be game over.
Oh, yeah. If you had cats that weren't lazy and actually, like, went out of their way to get... I mean, like, even those, like, hanging plants, like the Hoya and then your Brazil that's up there.
Yeah, those could... The Brazil will get long enough that Clifford will chew it once in a while.
And then there's a couple plants sitting up on the bay window there.
Well, because it's always been succulents there, because he hates succulents. Anything with a succulent, thick leaf, he's like, ugh.
Yeah, he's the true leaf guy. Pet safe plants, here we go. Pileas / peperomias.
I mean, you like them.
I do.
I don't.
Peperomias, I feel like, I don't know. A lot of them are tougher, like the ripple ones and ones that need like higher humidity. I don't like as much, but there's a lot of fun like trailing ones that I think are kind of cool. I don't know.
They just don't make sense to me because when I think of peperomia, the trailing ones are not what I picture, and that throws me off.
It's kind of like peperomias. Some people don't realize it kind of reminds me of the philodendron category, where there's just so many peperomia and pilea out there. There's a lot that I still learn about. It's nuts. Prayer plants, so our umbrella term of Stromanthe, Maranta, and Calathea. A lot of people have been coming in like Calatheas.
Calathea? Calathea who?
And I'm like, I don't know. I feel bad whenever people like say something weird or whenever people try and say Ansonii, whatever comes out of their mouth, I'm just like, yeah.
Ansoniani.
Adanson.
Sonia Michaels? Or Sonia Morgan? Not Michaels.
Yeah, I was like, can we make it through a whole episode without talking about housewives? Because y'all, I had to like give myself a pep talk today. I was like, okay, we gotta talk about plants. I can't talk about housewives. It's all I've been watching. It's all I've been doing. Just bad. I'm gonna start making housewife friendship bracelets now.
Oh my God, what a treat.
I've been having fun.
Go
with
to
my
sleep.
little crabs.
Actually, that would be
cool.
Those would be
cool.
good. Those,
Yeah.
you need to make those. You could make a lot of money.
I'm gonna start a little Etsy.
No, that's a really good idea, and I bet you could make a killing.
Okay, no offense, bravo. I mean, your merch on the website is just no. It's a thumbs down from me. I'm so sorry about it. Okay, here's maybe your favorite pet safe plant. Hoyas. What?
I do like them, and I don't want to like them, but I do.
They're so fun.
I don't know why.
Okay, but you know what you need to do lately, and this is what I do, is like take out one individual Hoya and then like enjoy it. And like, oh my God, like how cute you are. Can you imagine if you were like a center display table, just you on your own? So pretty.
I mean, I wish, but like that's a lot of work.
Like, you don't ever take out that Mathilde. Oh my God, another elbow leaf, Brandon. Holy
That thing
crap.
is growing and growing.
You need to take that out and take a cute picture with it on the gram. When's the last time you posted a plant?
I don't want to talk about it. we're gonna pretend that was yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I like taking out my.
No,
Hoyas.
that one I've been like, no, that's a good one.
The elbow.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
shocking.
It's the magic of pawn. Also, your Spirit of Sanctity is like weirdly shaped. That one.
Yeah, he's a little fat boy. Yeah.
Mine is like really ultra skinny, like my Mariah Carey. My Spirit Tussie.
No, I got the Mariah Carey.
Ferns, obviously ferns. I mean,
Not
love
the
your big
fern.
Not the ferns. You love your big staghorn.
Well, I love a staghorn, but the rest of the ferns, I am not a fan of.
Rabbit's foot fern, baby.
I don't like the rabbitfoot fern.
Can you believe Brandon just said that to me? I can't even get offended though.
They look. You know, I don't like any plant that looks.
Brandon doesn't like cool looking plants, creepy looking plants. I actually really love plants that look
You like I
you
don't.
wanna-
You love disheveled plants, and if a plant looks disheveled,
Disheveled.
it gives me the ick.
I like a good plant that kind of looks like that's a plant.
Yeah, that is very true. I want it to be like that's a plant.
Yeah, you want something very lush and like fake looking. Like I like creepy. Oh my gosh, is your lech going all white?
Oh, apparently. Look at that. That thing hasn't put out leaves in like
Ever?
6 months.
Yeah.
And now there's how many? That's a lot of leaves. Pull that thing out. Roll the tape.
This thing's just like a wet stump.
Oh, that's looking pretty good.
That actually isn't all white. There's a little green.
That's wow. That
And
does
this
look
is
good.
actually the most recent leaf. That one wasn't. This one is.
Oh, what a treat.
No, it is. Just kidding. It was tucked in like that. So yeah, I was like, what? She's looking cute. That looks choppable too. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, this new leaf. I remember when this was new coming in. Hello. Let me just squeeze past you here. Okay, can I just like 1 second? What?
The faint crinkling in the background of the microphone.
Squeezing. I'm like, you know whose reels have been making me giggle so hard? Adam, not dude. The reels, like the one, you know what I'm talking about, the one that he just posted, like when you need to lay out the towel in case it gets messy.
I was
And
like,
then
that hits a little too close to home.
Well, he is a plant gay. And then he cuts to him like pollinating with the fucking goggles. That made it way, way more funny. Okay, next up on the list of just the best, most fun pet safe plants. African violets.
If a variegated one was bestowed upon me, I wouldn't
I
mind
should have
it.
given you mine. It wasn't that cool.
But I don't think I would keep it alive. I don't think I'd be able to keep it alive.
Mine was sitting in my windowsill. The one thing is just they're really thirsty, but they also don't really want to be like overly wet. Like, okay. Fuck off then.
That's not going to work for me.
Brandon's like extreme. He's like, you're either going to be dry as a bone or you're going to be like sopping wet.
There's no in between.
So next, money tree. We talked about that. Oh, next, Tradescantia. Another big trailing invasive plant.
Which we all know. I used to like the Nanook, but then it betrayed me.
No.
And now it's a never.
Yeah, those, we sell a lot of them at PQ, and I'm just like, good luck to you. Good luck, little plant. Sometimes they even show up crusty, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
why? There's a lot of fun Tradescantias out there. I don't know.
But then that one that I left in my trunk when I tried to replace it rolled around in my trunk for literally 7 days in the middle of summer and was perfectly fine. But then the second I give it like perfect conditions, it's like,
yeah, they're touchy. I've had a couple, like some of the ones that are like a couple different colors. I really like them, but like I my plants have to be able to dry out, and they just can't. I'm sorry. Next, orchids. Orchids are pet safe.
we are getting into orchids a little.
Yeah, Brandon, I just pointed out that he has another little. He has his second flower spike coming out
On my grocery store orchid that has
that you
almost died
traded for.
twice.
Yeah, it was a surprise. What? Remember?
Yeah, I was like, I'll just take an orchid. I've
had-
never had one.
Yeah, we both had surprise orchid like flowers coming in. We were like, what color are they going to be?
Well, the bat orchid is also putting out a flower, but I think it must put out 2 different types of flowers.
Oh, I see you just got a nice big new leaf. You're gonna have to take that thing out of there. That's
I
not. I was like, that
know.
thing's not gonna be okay in that.
It's going to get huge.
Yeah, those things are big.
When we saw that one in
I feel
Houston,
like it's gonna have to like get knocked into this one right here.
yeah,
This tent.
it's going to for sure have to. Well, it wasn't there originally, but
Mhm.
I don't know why I put it in there. This is the Hoyas and other things cabinet.
Hoyas and other things. I mean, you also have Hoyas sitting over here. I guess like they're the ones that can be closest to the light, so that's just kind of what
Yeah.
you have to do.
Yeah, that they love to be like that one. The Lisa has been doing well with that light. It wasn't doing super well in this one,
Looking good.
but I also need to repot it because it's literally just bark.
Yeah. No, we love arid greenhouses, but that mixture, especially the little Hoya mixtures, I just had to repot a lot of mine because I had a lot from them that were like in the tiny pots that were like the size, just drying out immediately, full of roots, growing. I'm getting so many leaves. I'm like, okay, time for you to. But I know the second I pot it up, it's going to explode.
Oh yeah,
That's what Hoyas do. It's hard. You really. Here's the thing, y'all. Hoyas are one of those things that you I think have to fall in love with on your own because I can't force people to like them. Whenever I'm like, oh, I just love my Hoyas. They're just so pretty. People are like, ugh.
It took you probably a year and a half before I even was like, they're not awful.
Yeah. And I wasn't even going hard for them at that point, I don't think. Now I'm like, Hoya. Love them. Next pet safe plant coming with a warning. Spider plant.
Oh my god, yes.
The sacrificial hallucinogenic.
I want to get a big spider plant now just to watch the cats go crazy.
So I mean, I really like
Bath
a good
salts.
full one. I like a good full one when they had the little babies coming out. It is a fun little like plant to see like hanging up all nice and pretty. But when they're like smaller and whatnot, they just don't do it for me. It's one of those plants when you mentioned at the beginning, like it's just like why would you have that? That's what I feel about spider plants. I'm sorry.
Well, I will say they do get really crusty, and although cats love them,
Especially-
they're one of the ones that react with the saliva really bad and like stop growing.
Yeah, so they don't like that. And here's the thing, and I know some people listening, Steven, some people have sacrificial spider plants, but then they're like decapitated on the end. Why do you want that? I don't know. It just looks like weird Barbie.
Well, that's why I like the little cutting I have in the little water, because then when it gets lush, I say, "Here you go, Cliff. Enjoy." And then he smushes it, and then I put it back on the shelf, and then a month later, you can have a little more.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this and you're like, what are they talking about? Spider plants are pet safe, but they're like kind of a hallucinogenic for your kitties. So they will get addicted and they'll get high and they'll love it and they'll seek it out.
It is hilarious.
So do with that information what you will. On to succulents. So not all succulents are pet safe, but Echeveria and like Horthias are,
So
according to Google,
the kinds that your cats wouldn't want to bite.
basically. And like those are a little bit easier varieties too. I don't know.
But euphorbias?
No, euphorbia, no. So a lot of times people call euphorbias cacti, and a lot of cacti are pet safe, but euphorbias are not. So that's why I kind of like to keep the distinction between them.
Euphorbias are not even people safe.
Correct. I get scared when I'm like watering them because we have a bunch of the like pencil ones.
I have like that one on top of my cabinet, and I'm always afraid when I'm watering it, it's gonna like fall and like break in my eye. And I'm gonna go,
That is such a weird intrusive.
and I'm gonna go blind for the rest of my life.
It's gonna break in your eye, and you're gonna go blind. I mean, I feel you have like cacti have not been kind to you.
No.
Though I don't want to call the euphorbias cacti because I know the euphorbia people and the cacti people are probably like. Grr.
Like, remember when we saw that really pretty display at Tonkadale? It was like their first plant swap, and they had like all the fire sticks, and it was like like on like a wagon or a trailer. I don't know. It was really pretty. My intrusive thought was like, what if I fall on that? The goop gets all over my skin, and then it eats me away, and then I look like that one Batman villain.
Well, and there's so some of the sap, and I don't know what. I wish I couldn't find this word, but you know what it is when. If that gets on your skin,
caustic.
It reacts with UV light. Is that what you're talking about? So it reacts with UV, like it reacts with the sun. So then if whatever that is on your skin gets exposed to sun, then it starts like burning and eating away at you. So there's certain
that might be caustic, but I'm not really sure.
Oh, it's a special. I've never heard that, so I think it's something else, and I couldn't find out what it was because I was trying to look up different types of toxicity, and there's certain like. Are you thinking of chimeric variegation?
No.
Okay.
Caustic is like it eats away
Caustic
at your skin, but I don't know what.
Yeah, there's certain one that's like it's a UV
corrode by a chemical action. So technically, it is caustic, but I'm sure there's like a UV specific type of caustic.
Someone's gonna hit us up in our DMs. So bromeliad and tillandsia, so fun. I mean, who doesn't want a bromeliad in the home, huh? I'm sorry, Florida people are like, I love them.
I feel like there's one that I didn't know was a bromeliad, and I'm like, oh.
There are some kind of fun ones, but not my fave. But I like some tillandsia, some air plants. Some of those are fun. But I will add, y'all, just if your cat or dog or whatever eats these pet safe plants, they still might throw it up. My cat has eaten ferns and thrown them up because it's still not food. It's still not meant to be. It's
still not digestible.
Yeah, it's still not meant to be in the tummy, but it's not going to kill them.
Well, I mean, if it's Cece, she throws anything up. She throws air up.
I'm taking Cece to the vet tomorrow.
I have stepped in her puke 4 times this week, and I've stepped in a dingleberry.
Well, I don't think you can step in a dingleberry.
Well, it's a dingleberry that then fell off the branch, per se.
Okay.
The dingleberry was at the sink, so I wouldn't be surprised if she was like rubbing her little butt. She's like, he's going to be by the sink today.
Oh my gosh. You give her a lot more credit.
No, she's been getting pissed that I don't wake up in the middle of the night to give her attention. So she pukes exactly where she knows I'm going to step. Right in front of the fish tank. She's like, he's going to be feeding these bitches. Let me puke right here. He's like, oh, he's going to walk out of the room. Let me puke right here. He's going to make coffee. Right in front of the coffee maker. It's only where I would step. It's never not where I'm going to step.
Or in like a doorway that you have to walk through.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Right in the middle of the hallway.
She may have a little delulu, but she may
be deaf or blind.
She is also smart.
She's smart. So I have written down 2 cacti are typically safe if consumed, but euphorbias are not. So don't do that. Okay, the videos of people who like get like a cactus paddle and just like chuck off like the spiky bits, and they're just like, okay, I'm just gonna eat this. I'm like, I don't trust you.
Oh my god, a Nepale, yeah. They're always at the tacos. They're like Nepalese tacos, and I'm too afraid. I'm like, I don't want to spend $5 on a taco that I'm probably not gonna like. Like, I want to try it just to say I've tried it, but I don't think I'm going to.
Okay, you know one that I was really, really shocked about? Dischidias. So Dischidias, really similar to Hoya, right? I think. Okay, they're probably pet safe.
No.
There's incredibly conflicting information, y'all. One website would tell me yes, one website would tell me no. Then one site would tell me yes, one site would say no. Toxic, non-toxic, toxic, non-toxic. What is it?
I thought you were going to be like, extremely poisonous.
So I don't know. I don't trust it. Like, I don't know. I guess I could have gone in like ASPCA, which leads me to my last point. If you have any questions, I mean, I feel like when we're talking about, it's kind of like when you talk about like suicide, you should probably put up the suicide hotline. I don't know. It's just like what you should do. So if you have any poisonous concerns, there are two different like helplines. There's the pet poison helpline or the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center. And apparently even the normal like people poison control, apparently they're very nice.
I've heard, I only know like a few little people who have had to call poison control,
I've
but
heard
apparently
only amazing things.
Yeah.
You can y'all can call them for anything. If you eat anything where you're like, is this safe? Like any medication, anything you mix together, anything you're scared of, just call them up and like, I'm scared, I don't know what I did, and they're gonna be so nice. So I've heard.
Same.
I don't know. I think my anxiety was to get the better of me. Be like, no, I don't want to bother them.
No, same. I'm inconveniencing someone else? Absolutely not.
No,
I'd rather die.
It's their job to help me. No, I don't want to bother them. I want them to have an easy day at work.
I don't want to be the story they tell their friends.
No, that just made me think. Can you imagine being the customer that someone went home and told their roommate about or their family about?
I would rather die.
I'm just now like sitting. I'm like mentally like sitting on the floor on my knees, just like facing the wall. Like,
well, no, one time. Okay, so I work in the beauty industry, so I occasionally work at Sephora's. The Sephora's got a survey that me and this other employee, who's like an actual Sephora employee, were absolutely awful and gave the worst customer service they've ever had. And I was like, me? Oh, and also this other person, I'm like, she's such a sweetie. Who wrote this? what service did they receive from me?
It must have been an old person.
I don't know. There's not a lot of old people in Sephora. The old people typically love me. It's probably one of those 13-year-olds.
Assholes. Not the children. That's kind of all I have for pet safe plant stuff. Or like pets and plants.
Well, I will say one little topic on to Poison Control Center. Toxic does not mean poisonous. So toxic typically means like you will have irritation, you will throw up, your pet will, unless you're eating the plants too. But poison, I would call lilies and fire sticks and some sigoniums poisonous.
I feel like I've heard even Dieffenbachias are kind of.
Oh yeah, Dieffenbachias.
bad.
No, Dieffenbachias. They're. Do you know why they're called dumb canes?
Yeah, that's why I called them Dieffenbachias.
Well, no, because they would use it as a punishment for slaves.
Yeah, that's why we call them Dieffenbachias.
It would make them go blind. They'd be like, "Here you go." That liquid in a Dieffenbachia is not good.
So there you go, folks. The more you know.
Poison.
We should have had like. What's the like scary sound?
I think it's the blue.
Hi, gay.
That blue.
Not the teal.
Not the high gay. Oh, Brandon, where can people find you on the interwebs that you're so active on?
Well, I'm active on Amazon.com
God.
/shop/Brandon Botanical. So go buy all of your Amazon goods. If you're going to support a corporate company that is corrupt, at least give me a cut.
You know, y'all, if you don't see us, we're just busy surviving.
Bing bong.
Anyway, you can find me at BrandonBotanical.com. You can find me Brandon Botanical on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads.
I was going to say Threads. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and Threads at Nicole Larson Grows. I'm always just I'm always just complaining on Threads.
I've not threaded in a while.
Brandon's using his toes on the soundboard in case anything weird happens. Oh, y'all.
Anyway,
It's been a good one.
we love y'all. Miss y'all.
Don't die.
Bye.
Bye.